Dr. Okoekhian, what network are you using?
Yeah.
It's fine,
it's MTN. It's a Wi-Fi.
It's okay. Let's go. Are we good? Good evening. Welcome to Sound Health on Lagos Television. I am Olasumbo Modupe. The World Health Organization says children are having difficulties seeing things at a distance. What is responsible for this, and how can we prevent this condition in children? This and more on today's episode of Sound Health. Stay tuned. The conversation begins after this break. It is to Sound Health on Lagos Television. Joining us via Zoom this evening is Dr. Gloria Okoekhian. She is the Chairperson, Nigerian Optometric Association, Lagos State Chapter, and she is going to share her expertise on why children are experiencing short-sightedness. Good evening, Dr. Okoekhian. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Sumbo. Thank you for having me.
All right, Dr. Okoekhian, the World Health Organization recently released a report on short-sightedness, vision in children, pediatric vision. And before that, I would like us to look at what exactly is short-sightedness.
Thank you once again for having me. Yes, short-sightedness, in very simple terms, is the inability of the eye to see things clearly at far. From the word short-sightedness. So it simply means you're short-sighted when you can only see things at close distance, but things that are far away appears blurry. Now, this is a condition that in most cases, children are born with it. In most cases, there are some cases actually that we find short-sightedness coming up along in the course of growth, but in most cases, children are born with it. And it is as a result of the length, that's what we call the axial length, the eyeball being longer than normal. Now, a condition where you have such, children tend to see things that are very close to them at a particular distance, but things that happen to be farther at another distance appears, they're usually blurry. And that is the reason why you see such people, they tend to squint to see things well at far. Or you see them, especially children, they go close to the TV to watch. And more often than not, when this happens, parents tend to scold them or caution them to sit far away with the fear that the TV is going to damage their eyes. On the contrary, the children sit close because they don't see well. So it's not the TV that is going to affect their eyes, but it's because they're short-sighted. That is why they tend to go close to TV. Then another common thing you see with children who are short-sighted is they tend to take their books or things or the phone or the tabs very close to their eyes to see. So when you see a child coming up with these signs, they're indicating that there is something, something could be wrong with the way he or she sees. And the rightful thing really is to take the child for checks. Another thing that is common with short-sighted children or adults, as the case may be, because if he's there as a child and is not detected, the child grows up with it to be a teenager to an adult, and it continues because it really doesn't go away. They also squint. When they want to look at things, they tend to close their eyes a little bit because with that squinting action, they can see well. So short-sightedness is just what it is. You can see things close, You can't see things well at far distance.
Okay, are there risk factors aside from being born with that condition?
Well, as a matter of fact, in most cases, it's usually congenital. By congenital, I mean that you're born with it. But recent studies have shown, like you rightly said, from the World Health Organization, that prolonged near work is also being attributed to it as per doing too much work on the digital devices and the system, the phone, and all that. But that is a common feature you see among adolescents, teenagers, not necessarily children. If it's found in children, it's mostly because they're born with it. So we really can't say, okay, it's because of what the child did or what the parents did that caused it. It's just a natural, thing that they came with from birth. So in such cases, what we expect is for parents to be aware of the symptoms to look out for and start early to intervene, you know, to do the needful, which what the primary thing is actually first have a consultation with the eye doctor, the optometrist, the ophthalmologist to know the state of the child's health, eye health and to know the things to do. However, because people don't get to see the eye doctor until much later, it's possible that that short-sightedness may have progressed, unknown to the parents. Because the truth is, children will not complain. Typically, children are not aware, if they have a vision problem. Because this is what they are born to see, and that is what they use, that's what they are accustomed to. So it is for parents to know the warning signs. You see them, parents, caregivers, guardians, teachers, not only parents, because it's possible parents didn't see it. The teachers also need to know the warning signs. Caregivers need to know them. So when you see them, you take the child for consultation. Then the eye doctor will examine the child, tell you what can be done to help the child, and the things the child can do or the parents can do to help control the short-sightedness from progressing and getting worse than it was when it was first detected.
Okay, apart from the fact that you cannot see things at a distance, are there other signs one should look out for?
In short-sightedness,
Yes.
well, a few of these children can come with complaints of aches. We're talking specifically with short-sightedness, but that is not the only condition you have in children.
Okay.
Some children are long-sighted. Yes, just like some are short-sighted. So, much as we're looking at short-sightedness and progression, it's not the only condition, really. You have
Okay.
some children who have issues with both eyes not well coordinated. Because for us to see, both eyes ought to view well, and then they will merge the image, and you have a good view. But some children suffer from both eyes not working together at the same pace. So it now happens that when they have this difficulty, you see some children who tend to close one eye because of the double image they get. You also find children who have reading difficulty. Remember I said short-sighted children can read at close range, but they don't see as far. But the other set of children you have who may have long-sightedness, these ones have reading difficulty. That is the reason why some warning signs parents can also look out for. If you have a child who is frequently losing his pace when he's reading, a child who skips lines while reading, or the child who is constantly tracing lines while reading, or the child who have low reading comprehension. So these are things parents should also look out for that are indicative that something needs to be done about the child's eye health. Other features that you can see is when a child is constantly rubbing his or her eyes. Sometimes children do this maybe because there is a distortion of what they see. So they tend to rub their eyes, to be able to get a clearer picture. So parents need to have that at the back of their mind. So when you see such things, to trigger your attention and do something about it. Some children too, you see them, their eyelids are the eyes tend to close. It's not as if they are sleeping and they're not deliberately closing their eyes, but you see the lid coming down, so the eyes don't open well enough. So if you have such situation as well, you equally need to pay attention to it and get the child examined. So there are things, like a child who is constantly tearing. By tearing, I mean the eyes bringing out
Water.
tears, or the child who is overly sensitive to light. There are
Hmm.
some children I see sometimes, they can't stand even TV lights.
Wow.
So when the child keeps complaining about headaches, the light is affecting me, my eyes are watery, these are things that parents should pay attention to and have the child's eyes.
Okay, because we are talking pediatric vision now, apart from those conditions you mentioned, are there other conditions parents need to pay adequate attention to? Because from your explanation now, I used to think a flash of light in someone's face is normal. The inability to stand that is normal.
Okay, well, now our ability to accommodate light is a normal trait in the human person, because the eye sees by perceiving light, sending signal to the brain interprets and we see. However, there is a certain level, certain threshold of sensitivity that is normal. So when a normal lighting that everybody can accommodate becomes a problem, for instance, you turn on the lights, normal lights in the room, and the child is complaining immediately, oh no, no, the light is too much. That clearly shows that the child's sensitivity is higher than normal. Now, these cases we're talking about, some of them are related to vision problems that will be related to refractive errors like short-sightedness, long-sightedness, astigmatism. Children can also have other disease conditions like allergies. Some children too are born with cataract. Some children too are born with glaucoma, but these are not common things that you find in children.
Okay.
Most of the time, the common vision problems that you see with children have to do with short-sightedness, long-sightedness, the eye coordination, the ability to perceive well, to see depth, to accommodate light, and some little, well, I say minor issues like conjunctivitis. These are common things that you find in children. They're infections that are treatable. But the truth is, unless these things are detected early enough and the necessary attention is given, you find out that it may now degenerate, and deteriorate and become a lot more serious than it would have been if you had any detection. One of the reasons why we actually stress on parents paying attention to children's vision is because early detection can help a whole lot.
Hmm.
Because a child's vision is essential to the child's well-being. And it's not just about whether the child sees, it is about how well the child
I
sees.
see.
How comfortable is the child's vision? Because yes, if your child can see, the child can see, but how well does he or she see?
Hmm.
That is the reason why sometimes you won't believe it. We get to find out some people don't know that they are short-sighted until they get to 18, 19, maybe they're in the university and they realize that they can't see the screen which their mates are seeing. The
Hmm.
reason is because while they were growing up, they didn't know that they could see better. And maybe their parents were not observant enough to know that something is amiss. But if they had gone for an eye exam early enough, like we are advocating that children should have their first eye exam at the age of 3.
Hmm.
You know, it may sound very early, but that is when the child is getting ready for preschool. And vision contributes 70 to 80% to a child's learning ability. So a child that doesn't have good vision, more or less, you put the child in the best of schools, and the child may not be performing as
As
well
well.
as expected. And the parents may not even know that it is the vision that is contributing to it. So the primary thing first is to put eye exam as one of the essential, prerequisites you need to pay attention to. Because I usually tell parents, how do you spend so much money to pay fees to put your child in a good school, which is good, and you pay less attention to the science
Sight.
with which the child will use to help you get results. You see, we parents, we do all the things. When it's time to resume school, we go to the market, we buy all the books, change the bags, the shoes, and
Shoes.
everything that the child needs.
Go to
But
the
the most
cinemas
important thing that
and
is key is we give the least attention to. So for us, we advocate that much as we know that these other things are essential, the child's vision matters a great deal because it is with the vision that the child will relate with his or her peers and also the world. So a child's vision is essential to his or her development, both physically and socially. That is why it's important. Vision should be prioritized at every point.
all right. Can exposure to digital devices, long hours of reading also contribute to this condition, development of this condition in children?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as a matter of fact, when a child is short-sighted and the child is attended to, what we do is to make recommendation. We recommend glasses, which will enhance the child's vision at far. And it will not help the child or the individual to see clearly at far. However, because children or people who are short-sighted tend to take things pretty close to their eyes to see. And the more you do this close work, the more it creates a chance of progression. I think it worsens the short sight. So one of the recommendations for myopia control, as in to control short sighted, so it doesn't get worse, aside using glasses, we strongly advocate that parents should begin to pay attention to their children to reduce their screen time. Reduce the number of hours children have to spend on the tabs or the system or the phone, because so long as these children continue with this, the length, I don't want to be too technical, the length of the eyes, the size of the eyeball continues to increase, the eyeball continues to elongate. And as this continues, the short-sightedness will get worse. That is
All
why you
right.
see that the prescription will be getting higher, and parents keep getting worried as per how come this child is using glasses and then I'm coming again, the prescription is getting higher. Partially, it is because of this close work that they are consistently engaged in. So the recommendation is allow children to engage in outdoor games. Now, give them a limited time for the system, the tabs, the phone, but create time for them to engage in outdoor games, even if they are doing indoor games. For example, if children have to play Scrabble, cards, these are not associated with the digital devices, but it can also enhance their own skill. So what we strongly recommend is as much as possible, let the time that the child spends on video games or the system, it
Reduced.
should be reduced to the barest minimum. That way, you are helping to control the short-sightedness and curtail it from progressing, or getting worse than when it started.
All right, minimal exposure to digital devices, more exposure to outdoor games and outdoor activities will save your child's eyes. Thank you so much, Dr. Gloria Okoekhian, for your expertise and thoughts on this topic.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, you're welcome. I have been speaking with Dr. Gloria Okoekhian, Chairperson, Nigerian Optometric Association, Lagos State Chapter, on how to prevent short-sightedness and other pediatric health condition. All right, I have been speaking with Dr. Gloria Okoekhian, Chairperson, Nigerian Optometric Association, Lagos State Chapter, on how to prevent short-sightedness and other pediatric eye defects in children. Pediatric is also children now. What am I saying? All right,
Yeah, you're
thank
right.
you.
Pediatric, yeah.
That's tautology. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Gloria Okoekhian, Chairperson, Nigerian Optometric Association, Lagos State Chapter, on how to prevent short-sightedness and other pediatric defects in eyes. Hey. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Okoekhian. Thank you. I'll call you.
Thank you so much.
I'll call you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Have a beautiful day.
You too. Pediatric eye defect. Yes, pediatric eye defect. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Gloria Okoekhian, Chairperson, Nigerian Optometric Association, Lagos State Chapter Association. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Gloria Okoekhian, Chairperson, Nigerian Optometric Association, Lagos State Chapter, on how to prevent short-sightedness and other pediatric eye defects. Sound Health continues with trending health report from around the world. Please stay tuned. All right, it is still Sound Health on Lagos Television. More to come in a moment. I know, I'm coming. All right, I believe you are more aware about how to prevent short-sightedness and other eye defects in children. So please, spending 90 minutes, creating 90 minutes. Okay. I believe you are more aware about how to prevent short-sightedness and other eye defects in your children. Allowing 90 minutes of playtime for your children outdoor will do them a lot of good, will do them. Allowing 90 minutes of playtime outdoor for your children will do them a lot of good, prevent their eyesight, and that is only what they have. It's not smooth enough. I believe you are more aware about how to prevent short-sightedness and other eye defects in children. Allowing 90 minutes of playtime for your children will do them a lot of good. Protect their sight at a tender age. For comments and inquiries, or you have topics you'd like us to treat, send SMS to 0035826603 or follow us on social media at LTV Social, #SoundHealth. A sound health is a sound mind. Make healthy living your choice. Was that smooth? From where? From the turn, Abi? Then after this, I want you to take my reaction shot. Please. For comments and inquiries, or you have topics you like us to treat, send SMS to 0035826603 or follow us on social media at LTV Social, #SoundHealth. A sound health is a sound mind. Make healthy living your choice. So take short reactions.